There's a new name about to crash the high-income ETF party, and it's called TAC, short for Tap Alpha TDAC ETF. Most people haven't heard of it, but once you see what this fund is doing differently, you might rethink your current ETFs. I'm not just talking about a decent performer. This fund is built on a model that's proven itself with real, sustainable yield. CAC aims for consistent, high monthly income without self-destruction. It keeps rewarding you year after year. This isn't just a product launched by a giant institution. This is Tap Alpha, the team behind T-SPY that's been successful in the S&P 500. These guys aren't gamblers. They understand yield like science, not a lottery. TAC's whole foundation revolves around something called zero DTE options. That's 0 days to expiration. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple and brilliant. Instead of writing options that last a week or a month, TAC writes them daily, capturing small bursts of income from short-term market volatility. Every single trading day, it resets. No baggage, no long-dated risk hanging over it. It's kind of like a fisherman casting his net every morning instead of once a week. The more throws you get, the more chances to catch premium. Now, Cure. The expense ratio sits at 0.68%. Some might see that and raise an eyebrow. In the high-income ETF space, that's actually reasonable, especially when you realize this fund isn't passive. It's active, tactical, and constantly adjusting to market conditions. You're paying for brains, not bureaucracy. And those brains? They belong to Tap Alpha, a team that's already proven their approach works. Their first breakout hit, T-SPY, uses the same zero DTE concept, but with the S&P 500 instead of the NASDAQ 100. That fund has already outperformed plenty of bigger, flashier names, all while maintaining steady yield and solid NAV control. TDAC, or TAC, is basically the wilder sibling. Instead of the S&P 500's calm, it's tapping into the NASDAQ 100's faster heartbeat. If you know anything about volatility, more movement means more premium potential. It's like surfing, bigger waves, bigger payoffs. But don't mistake this for a reckless thrill ride. TAC's approach isn't about chasing explosive gains. It's capturing opportunity with precision. The NASDAQ is home to giants like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. Their volatility isn't chaos, it's energy. Let's be real, chasing sky-high yields often leads to losses. It's like taking cash from your savings and calling it profit. TAC's goal isn't absurd yields. It balances real income with long-term capital discipline, avoiding the trap of financial cannibalism. Tap Alpha's track record with T-SPY is impressive. It started outperforming established names, not just a lucky streak, it was a signal. They found a formula that actually works, and now they're applying it to the faster environment of the NASDAQ. If T-SPY holds up in the calm waters of the S&P 500, TAC is moving into a faster current with more potential. Innovation matters in this space. Many ETFs today are just clones, but Tap Alpha's approach feels different. They're not chasing the highest yield. They're focused on the smartest yield. A significant difference. Very few can sustain 12 to 15% returns for years. Tap Alpha is committed to balancing income and capital health. We've all seen funds implode, flashy ones promising monthly income. TAC's model adapts, built on disciplined premium collection and daily resets. Adaptability is key. Markets change daily. TAC's zero DTE structure allows for immediate adjustments, unlike traditional holdings. Time decay in options is crucial. TAC captures premium in the final hours before expiration, effectively maximizing profits. It's not magic. It requires skill, risk management, and a dedicated team. TAP Alpha proves it can outperform faceless ETFs. I'm bullish on TAC. Like T-SPY, it boasts real yield and performance, with even greater potential due to Nasdaq's volatility premium. 2026 could be the year this ETF steps out of the shadows and takes a seat at the grown-up table, next to NEOS, YieldMax, and the big players. TAC feels different from the high-income ETF crowd. The field is packed with imitators, all trying to be the next JEPI or NEOS. TAP Alpha didn't show up to copy anyone. They're rewriting the rulebook with real, juicy yields. They don't chase every ounce of premium if it risks long-term damage. Steady income and base protection is key. TAC structure adapts daily, capturing short-term volatility in the Nasdaq 100 and converting it into distributable income. TAC is an income fund, not a growth rocket. It's not trying to compete with QQQ or tech-heavy momentum plays. If you're chasing 5 times capital gains, this isn't your lane. But if you want monthly distributions that can fund real life, then TAC makes sense. The Nasdaq 100 is concentrated with just 100 companies, mostly tech or growth-focused. This leads to sharper moves and bigger volatility swings. With TAC, volatility isn't a threat, it's an opportunity. Higher volatility increases option premiums, which TAC takes advantage of daily. Unlike old-school covered call ETFs, TAC adjusts every trading day, ensuring it reacts to the market rather than enduring it. In unpredictable markets, reactivity is crucial. TAC wakes up daily, scans the Nasdaq, and recalibrates positions to maintain agility. TAP Alpha's T-SPY has proven its mettle, consistently delivering results while writing short-dated options daily. T-SPY has outperformed established funds, even those backed by big institutions and massive budgets. In the past year, T-SPY's total returns have surpassed 16%, outperforming JEPI and matching NEOS and GPIX. With the S&P 500 stability achieved, imagine T-SPY in the more dynamic Nasdaq environment. Higher volatility does mean higher risk, but with proper management, risk can be a partner in success. TAP Alpha emphasizes discipline, steering clear of reckless funds that flash unsustainable high yields. And honestly, that's refreshing. This space is full of noise, flashy tickers, overpromises, and under-delivered results. TAP Alpha feels almost old school in their honesty. Their focus isn't look how high our yield is, it's look how long we can keep paying it. If you dig into the competition, funds like NEOS, YieldMax, Defiance, Roundhill, you'll notice a pattern. NEOS focuses on tax-efficient call writing, YieldMax on hyper-yield plays, Roundhill with thematic exposure. TAP Alpha found their own lane. Daily precision. They're stacking singles, day after day, and it's working. Another thing I respect, transparency. TAP Alpha doesn't hide behind vague marketing. They're just saying, here's how we turn volatility into cash. Simple, direct, believable. When T-SPY hit $50 million in assets, they said they'd launch their next fund. A lot of companies talk a big game. These guys actually did it. TAC charges a 0.68% expense ratio. It's not the cheapest, but in this category, cheap isn't always better. You get what you pay for, especially with active management. TAC isn't passive. It's not on autopilot. Every trading day, a real team is recalibrating and rebalancing to maximize NASDAQ returns while controlling drawdowns. High-income ETFs balance yield and capital health. If you chase yield too hard, you destroy NAV. If you protect NAV, your income shrinks. The art is in the middle. TAP Alpha adjusts balance like a pilot through turbulence. Too high, you lose speed. Too low, you risk a crash. Constant correction is key. Zero DTE trading gives flexibility. We're heading into a market where flexibility matters. Funds that adapt daily will win. Looking ahead to 2026, I see TAC as a modern, adaptable income ETF. You can pair TAC with T-SPY and create something special. One feeds off the S&P 500 steadiness. The other thrives on NASDAQ's volatility. Together, they balance each other out beautifully. It's like having one foot on solid ground and the other on a wave. Stability and momentum. You could split it evenly or lean heavier toward whichever index you're more confident in. That's a powerful combo for investors chasing monthly income without feeling like they're lighting their capital on fire. When a fund's model keeps working across different markets, that's not luck, that's engineering. And that's what TAP Alpha's proving. T-SPY has shown resilience through rate hikes, rallies, and pullbacks. It's not just about eye-catching yields, it's preserving value. That's why TAC is gaining attention, taking a proven structure and integrating it into the NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ is unpredictable in a great way, jumping 2% in a week or tumbling overnight. Ideal for an options-based income fund. Every swing offers a chance to harvest a premium. The faster the market moves, the more fuel TAC has to work with. TAP Alpha isn't loud about their results. No flashy ads or Super Bowl airtime. Just quiet, efficient performance. TAP Alpha's leadership focuses on data and performance rather than hype. Results speak for themselves. What sets TAC apart is adaptability. In volatility, others freeze. TAC thrives. Income shifts with the market. TAC does carry risk, particularly since it's based on NASDAQ 100. But for those valuing cash flow, the risk-to-reward ratio is appealing. TAC is competing with the best in the business: NEOS, YieldMax, JEPI, and Defiance. It's nipping at their heels in total returns. On a pure price basis, funds like GPIX may lead, but factoring in total return with reinvested distributions, T-SPY climbs to the top. T-SPY has some of the strongest total returns in the high-income ETF arena, consistently outperforming major funds. Those 40% yield ETFs seem attractive but often reveal crumbling NAV behind the scenes. You're not making real gains. TAC offers steady, meaningful income that you can depend on, unlike many flashy options out there. If you're building a portfolio for consistent monthly income, TAC deserves a spot on your watch list. Pair it with T-SPY and you've got a killer combo. Two funds covering very different market personalities. One gives you the stability of the S&P 500, while the other gives you the velocity of the NASDAQ 100. Imagine collecting distributions from both, diversifying your yield streams without overcomplicating your portfolio. To track performance, go on platforms like Seeking Alpha, check the comparison tools, and see the data for yourself. Funds like T-SPY are outpacing bigger names that spend 100 times more on marketing. TAC checks all the boxes for a market that's fast, unpredictable, and rich with volatility. There are 3 reasons I'm betting big on TAC for 2026. First, its strategy, built around daily, zero DTE premium harvesting. It's modern, nimble, and engineered for efficiency. Second, its proven lineage, the exact same framework that made T-SPY one of the best-performing income ETFs of the past year. Third, its leadership, a team that has earned trust not by marketing hype, but by results. TAC isn't just another ticker. It's the next evolution of income ETFs, disciplined, forward-thinking, and perfectly timed for the next phase of the market. If you learned something here, hit that like button, share this with a friend, and drop your thoughts in the comments.